Just want to give a shout out to San Diego State. It's a good football team. We were prepared to, they have a good defense, and I thought we came out and we were able to execute in many ways. Defensively, I'm proud of our defense, holding the team like that to 13 points, because they got some good weapons on that team, and a little bit of the tempo might have hurt them. We felt like we were probably in better shape throughout the game. And I'm proud of our defense, the way they responded. It's a lot of midfield drives, and we just keep turning them back over and over is a good sign for us moving forward. Proud of Jackson Potter. What was he, 28 of 42? No sacks, no interceptions. Was throwing some legit passes in there, like I said, that he did in fall camp. So proud of the group. Ran the ball a little bit better today. Still need to improve on those things. Need to get better at punt. Need to not kill ourselves with some of the holding calls or holding penalties and some false starts, some situational things. But overall, we took a step in the right direction this week, and we got another one next week that will be tough on the road.
Coach, you said after last week, obviously a lot of work needed to be done offensively. It's one thing to say that, and then it's one thing to actually go out and see it. What was kind of the message to the guys throughout the week that it can't just be hollow words, and that when you say they need to get better offensively, you guys need to get better offensively, they need to actually get better offensively than to see them actually go do it on the field?
Well, I thought we practiced better this past week. I think that they took the message that they got on Monday personal. And they came out and they practiced the right way throughout the week. And when you practice that way and you prepare that way, and then you're set up with the right play calling, and you can keep people off track like how we did offensively, and throwing rhythmic plays at them and keeping them off balance, because that's a good defense. They got some of the all-conference players in the Mountain West on that team, and one of the best defensive players in the country on that D-line. So we were able to control him and have success.
I want to ask you about Leon Neal. I know we talked about him a little bit in the spring, but a guy who's played 4 or 5 positions here, walked on, spent 5 years here, got put on scholarship. Now he gets his first touchdown. Just how much does he kind of embody what you want out of every one of your kids? Just not only the loyalty, but the hard work and the work ethic to get to where he is.
I walked into a unique situation. You may have to correct me if I'm wrong, but I'm pretty sure he might have been the one that blocked the punt in the bowl game. And getting him back, I was excited about him. I had known that he had been on a bunch of teams and was an impact player on teams that they trusted. And we put him on scholarship this past spring because of how he works and what he had done. And if you would have seen him in spring ball, you would have thought he was our number 1 target. He just worked his butt off, never got complacent. He's always consistent, doesn't say much. He's a great teammate, humble kid. And I'm proud of him, because a lot of people just kind of feel like if they don't have their role, they just quit. And that's kind of the nature of what we live in these days. And he didn't. He stuck to it. He believed in staying here. He believed in the system, and he gave us a shot, and we gave him one back, and I'm proud of him. It wasn't the first just for him. It was an all-time high for Josh Meredith and receptions in a game. I was told this is shocking to me, because I think Bobby Terrell is a fantastic worker, and I think he had his first sack today, which was a sack, and I think he might have got credit for the other one as well. We're coming together. If you could hear them in the locker room, they're close, and I think that's a product of just creating the atmosphere, and where our players, that a lot of new players can have relationships, be themselves, and we're moving in the right direction, but we got a ton of work still to do.
3 rushing yards to 139. What was the key to getting that done?
Strike people. Run the ball behind your pads. I don't got too much of an answer. A little bit of it is keeping people off balance with how you can pass the ball, and we used a little bit of the pass game to set up the run game. And if we have to do that, we have to do that. I'm not one to, ram a square peg down a round hole and wonder why it's not working. So proud of the offensive staff putting together a game plan. I do think that we need to just continue to get better at running the football. And then wearing people out, because in situations there, you don't want to pass the football, but we were passing the football for some of them first downs because they were stacking the box. So if we can get to the point throughout the year of us wearing people out, we would love to do that so we don't have to put ourselves in that situation. But we were able to get a first down, and, I'm proud of the guys. At the end that field goal scared the shit out of me. But Glad he was offsides. I was wondering why he got in there so fast, but yeah, it was the right decision to take the penalty in the first down so we can absorb the clock. And I felt like if we can just have another shot at the end zone, we'd put 6 up.
Last week, you guys just had 2 targets, 2 tight ends. Today, obviously, Trey has the 2 touchdown catches. Was that
all-time high for Trey too?
That's right. Was it a conscious effort to get the tight ends more involved in the passing game, or is that just kind of the way it worked out?
No, that was just Potter finding open people. He's been great at doing that and being in rhythm, and largely due to that is the O-line and the protection. So we have taken a jump in many ways, but we can't get complacent. This is one game along many. We have 10 left to go, and we got a tough one next week.
How important was that safety towards the end of the second quarter for momentum-wise?
Yeah, it was huge. It was huge. We're going to go for it on 4th down here and there. I'm not as by the book. I mean, you should see what this book tells you. It will tell you to go for 4th and 6, 4th and 7 at times when you're only backed up. So we went for it. We got stuffed, which is disappointing. And we got to get better at getting hard yards when we need it. But to get them down there and then to respond defensively and have a huge play like that was a momentum play for us for sure.
And a lot of positives, but I think the one thing I did want to ask about, I think the 3rd down conversion rate was, 3 of 15. I mean, is that just something that San Diego State was doing, or is that something that you guys were just not executing well?
Well, they went for it on 4th down, and they scored a touchdown. And we were in coverage. We were there. We fell over in man coverage, and so you can't have that happen, obviously. It was an error, but overall, that's kind of what we want to do defensively. We have high goals on defense, and I think it's taken a little bit for our defensive players to believe what we say is realistic. But we've been able to do that, and we're going to continue to push those, push the standard and not change just based off of what the outside world thinks or because I've been on teams where we set the standard so high and then you get close. And if you want to be the best in the country, you got to set the best in the country type standards. And so we hold the guys to that. They play like that. You can see how hard they run around and run to the ball and swarm together. And it's a product of togetherness. And I think Coach Bobbitt, the defensive staff, have done an unbelievable job of hammering that home.
Which late there in the second quarter, it seemed like the offense kept stalling out. And then after the safety, you guys go down and score in 50 seconds. I guess, what did you see on that drive?
Man, if you could just give me what you see, I would just call it in every time. But I don't know, man. The guy's gotten rhythm, and when Potter sees it, he can rip it in there, and we were able to have success. Yeah, I'm proud of the group right now. It's one of many, though.
What did you make of Kirby's game? Kind of, Angel had a couple good runs as well, but it seemed like Kirby was really able to assert himself on that defense a little bit, like you said, wear them down. What did you kind of make overall of his performance?
Yeah, he's a physical kid, and we believe in him getting hard yards, and he did a good job of cutting against the grain at times, and some of those popped open. I thought Leo, when he got in there, made a huge play, and man, has Leo improved. He has improved so much, and he's going to continue to get his shot and his carries because he has worked himself into a really good player. When I got here, I'd heard about Leo, and I challenged his work ethic at practice, and this fall he's really taken a stride, and he is a really good player. He's a great change of pace back. He had a run there where he stabbed on the outside edge and then cut back against the grain and was able to get a huge gain. But I'm proud of that group because the whole week they hear about what they're not. And I think that there's more in there, and we need to continue to take the next step further in the run game to open up some more of these passes that will continue to be there.
When you looked at the run game, you talked a lot about the errors being mental and on the offensive line and just on all the blockers. What kind of leaps did you see that group take in terms of just mentally, the mental side of the game?
Yeah, I think it was there. Some of the errors were physical. As far as just not sticking it in there. One of the tackles for loss that we got a holding on Mola, and he was right there to get to that block. He stopped his feet, and he's got to take it on the chin and cut the guy off on the backside of the zone. And so we'll learn from those things. Overall, I didn't see a bunch of mental errors, just some of the physical mistakes of not, moving our feet and staying with the moving target. We got a holding penalty on a pull that we had I believe it was a first down, or it might have been like an 8-yard run, and it backed us up, and now we're behind the chains, and then we're trying to, we stalled out ourselves some of those drives just with penalties, and we got to clean those things up.
How does having someone like Carter Paffs too could not only make a big catch like he did today, but also make those blocks, help Jackson, help your offense flow?
He is. If I could take a lot of kids like Carter Paffs, I'd take most of them. His frame, his physicality, his savviness. He's a great football player. He's not afraid of competition. You can ask the older guys. Didn't back down at all during fall camp, and he's one of our most physical blockers on the perimeter. But when you can catch the ball and high point it the way he does, and then just play with some savvy, it allows you to have success offensively.
Anything different from as far as composure or energy-wise from last week into this week in game time?
Yeah, it was much better. And then I would tell you we still need to improve. There was a lull there in the third quarter where we kind of kept stalling, and our defense kept having to go back out there. We got to be able to run the ball when we want to run the football, and even when the world knows it's coming. That's what great teams do, and they can kill out games. And when I say that we're going to win on defense, you have to be able to run the football to win on defense to do that. And it's not that we don't want to score points. It's just the product of controlling the time of possession and making the most of your opportunities down to down.
Speaking of running the ball, you put Duggar in for that late touchdown. Does that solidify his kind of role in where you want to see him for the rest of the season? Or
yeah, he's going to continue to battle. Like I said, he's a great run threat, but he can really pass the ball as well. And so, I just feel like he gives us a change of pace in there. And, when people start to game plan against when he's going in, it's just a run. He can sling it. So we're going to keep teams on their heels and see what he can do. Thank you.